Hello, my name is Madison, and today I'm going to be telling you about my trip that I took earlier in March this year to New York City. I've always had an interest in traveling, so whenever my parents wanted to go during spring break, why not? New York City is also known as a city that never sleeps, and for good reason, because there's just over about 8 million people living in the city. So whenever we went to New York City, we did stay on Times Square. So I did bring just a little refrigerator magnet that does have Times Square on there. It does show you that it is a very busy part of New York City. You can barely really walk on the sidewalks. The street vendors are set up on the sidewalks as well, so you have access to multiple different types of food, even convenience stands depending on the type of weather that they have. Whenever we went, it was cold, so they had blankets and scarves, hats, and there is also a lot of street performers. So I'm not sure if you've seen, there's a video going around where there's a street spray painter who's actually painting canvases. So he was actually there doing that. So since we were staying right off of Times Square, we didn't really stay there the whole time. We really went there at night. So during the day, we did go to the 9/11 Museum. So I did bring just a little tiny statue of the Twin Towers. It also does double as a pencil sharpener. So whenever we went there, they actually have rooms dedicated to the people that died during the attacks. They play the phone call recordings whenever they were calling the fire department, police department, and their loved ones. And whenever we were there was actually this man who knew someone who died during the attacks. So he was just sitting there talking to his picture and just telling him that he would be back soon, and he would just talk to him again whenever he got there. And they also do have some of the steel beams from the original buildings on display in the museum as well. So that did take up most of our day. It does take about 2 to 4 hours depending if you sit there and listen to everything else. So to end our trip on a lighter note, we did decide to go see the Statue of Liberty. We did take a ferry down the Hudson River that went past the Ellis Island. We didn't choose to take the ferry that stopped there because it was cold. It was in March, so we didn't want to walk around all day, be stuck there until the next ferry. But if you do choose to take the ferry that stops at Ellis Island, you can take the 354 steps up to the Crown. So we took the ferry and we went past it, and I really wanted to see it because she has become known to stand for freedom, and my dad's side of the family are immigrants from Cuba, so I really wanted to just see it. So I decided to get a little tiny 4-inch Statue of Liberty to just remind me that I was able to see it and my grandparents came over, so it's just important to see. So my artifacts.
1 minute.
Just reminds me of where I've been. It just constantly reminds me that I was able to travel to New York City to see it, since I do have that interest. And I think that's my conclusion. Are there any questions? Yes.
I don't remember what country gifted the Statue of Liberty to her.
France.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah. Is that it? Yeah.